On today's episode of Plums, I'm really excited to sit down with Gonzalo from Impossible Finance, this wonderful accelerator and fundraising platform who have just launched their new product, Curated, and we're going to learn about that and so much more in today's episode. Ooh. Gonzalo, it's fantastic to have you here on Plums today. And Gonzalo, when I think of you and Impossible Finance, two things come to mind. Firstly, that you make the impossible possible. And then secondly, Mission Impossible, the film. Like, it instantly comes to mind. And I'm not going to sing the theme tune or hum the theme tune. I'd love to. But one of the things in the Mission Impossible films is those self-destructing kind of mission tapes. You might be familiar with this. And so I'm going to give you a Mission Impossible style briefing right now, Gonzalo. You up for that?
Okay, let's go.
Okay, Gonzalo, this is your mission briefing. Your objective, should you choose to accept it, is to join me on the Plums podcast for a high-risk, high-reward operation involving laughter, dubious wisdom, and at least one question that will make you wonder why you agreed to come on in the first place. You must also bravely endure the sound of your own voice on playback, maintain composure under unpredictable levels of British sarcasm, and avoid mentioning any price predictions which you could have later held against you. Success will be measured in smiles, quotable moments, and whether we manage to record an episode without needing post-editing. If you decline this mission, I will simply assume that you are a vagina. If you accept, then welcome, agent, to the Plums podcast. This message will self-destruct in 5 seconds. What do you think, Gonzalo? Are you willing to come on this Mission Impossible with me?
Okay, let's do it. Thanks for the invitation.
Let's do it.
Thanks for the invitation, man. Really happy to be here, joining the podcast. And let's see how it goes.
Let's see how we go. Well, look, Gonzalo, I recently hosted a Spaces, and I introduced you as the CEO of Impossible Finance, which you quickly corrected me. And so I want to give you the pleasure of introducing yourself and telling us what you do, and more importantly, if you can, what Impossible Finance is. Tell us, who are you, Gonzalo, and what's Impossible Finance?
Hey, thank you. So let me start with Impossible. So Impossible is an accelerator and the fundraising platform. On the accelerator side, we partner with great teams and we help them grow. Like each company, each startup has their own challenges. So we try to identify with them what are the major challenges that they have. It could be like business development, reworking their business model, working on tokenomics, expanding into some particular market, grow TVL, like whatever, like you name it. Each project has their own challenges, and we work together to help them overcome those challenges. And on our fundraising platform, we have been operating as Impossible Finance for the past 4 years. We helped 38 teams to launch with us. We also manage white label products, so we have also done sales using our partners brand. We raised over 350 million, combining KOLs, syndicates, VCs, public investors across our different projects. And now we are rebranding to Curated and using Curated as a new product launch. So Curated will be much more ambitious than what Impossible Finance is. It's a way for us to capture a new scale. We are opening the game to onboard curators like Bloom to bring more opportunities for our user base, and we are growing our user base through multiple distribution partners. So that's the direction that we're going with Curated. One key difference is that we are also expanding the type of offerings that you will find on our fundraising platform. So we're moving from doing mostly token sales to do TVL growth campaigns, to do early stage safe type of deals. We're also doing secondary type of OTC markets. So let's see how this new version of Impossible, that will be now called Curated, if we can achieve our goals here. Like really excited on this one. And about myself on Impossible, my role is research lead. So I mostly lead activities involving due diligence of new teams coming to work with us, helping them on different tasks like reworking their business models, understanding the competitive landscape, how to position their product, how to speak with investors. And also, of course, collaborating with our network, redacting investment memos, and so on. So that's a little bit about my role on Impossible.
Nice.
Our goal as Impossible, where are we going?
Yeah, really good. And I think you're somewhat underselling yourself there. I mean, when we've been working together, your breadth of skills has been phenomenal to see. Both in terms of knowledge and how to deploy that knowledge, which is important, and both inside crypto and outside crypto, and then also your patience and diligence that you show. There's been times, when working with teams where I might have been, and you were like, oh no, let's find this way, which has been great to see. And then Impossible, it's fun. You mentioned there about these hundreds of millions of dollars that you've raised, and then you talk about Curated being more ambitious. It's like, yeah, we can do way more than this with Curated, and I'm honored with Plums to be coming into Curated. And then accelerators, this is something that people don't fully appreciate that is needed in crypto, and it's a service that people really need. And unfortunately, the people that need it most don't realize they need it. And, a lot of teams could do with being in a program like the ones that you put on to benefit from that support. Now, I mentioned earlier, Gonzalo, that Impossible Finance makes the impossible possible. And we're going to play a little game now, okay, Gonzalo? And I've called it Impossible or Not. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a statement, and you're going to tell me whether this is this could happen, that's possible, or actually no, this is entirely make believe, this is impossible, okay? And they're a bit silly, some of them, okay? So we're gonna play this game. You up for that?
Let's go.
Let's go, baby. Okay, so impossible or not. So number one, launching a token that never dumps even once. Is that impossible or possible?
It is possible, but not the kind of tokens that we're thinking about. Like you can always do some engineering with the supply and whatever. Like you can find some way to make the price go up only. Like even if it is just a HoneyPot token, like okay, it's a token that you cannot sell, so how it can go down? But
see, this is so good.
Is it really interesting? Like I don't know.
When I wrote this, I was like, I bet you Gonzalo says it is possible, but it's not the kind of project, it's like HoneyPots, exactly what you said. So good. Okay, so it's possible, but not something that's necessarily good. Even though
I have an anecdote. I will embarrass myself on this one.
Okay, good.
So right when I was starting to do things on chain, the first thing that I would do is, okay, how can I buy something the earliest possible? Like I had this question. You might have the curiosity if you are just entering the space, maybe you are buying on a centralized exchange, then you find out, oh, I can go and buy things on chain and so on. So I took the challenge. I will find things when they launch with the scanners, and I will buy whatever comes here. And that was how I got to know what the HoneyPot was. I actually bought the token that was called HoneyPot. And it was a HoneyPot. And I just said, okay, what's this name? I just bought it, whatever. I'm trying to understand. Yeah. And then, okay, what's a HoneyPot? Okay, that's how I got to know what the HoneyPot was.
That's funny.
Ape first, ask question later. What's back there?
Yeah, that's funny. I briefly held the token. So there was a like a CT KOL, like a guy big on crypto Twitter, and his handle was War on Rugs. And this guy did really good in-depth on-chain research of tokens that were honeypots and things. He'd identify them. I think he even had a tool where you could check, whether it had various elements of a contract that would, like minting extra tokens or locking funds, all the rest of it. So, really cool, and followed him for a while. Anyway, he then launched a token, right, called War on Rugs, and then rugged it.
I remember. I think I remember this one. I think it was back 2022 or something.
Yeah. Unbelievable. Nice. So, okay, good. So, next one, impossible or not, a DAO vote where everyone actually reads the proposal before voting. Impossible or possible?
That's impossible.
Impossible, I agree.
I don't see that ever happening.
Yeah, okay, good. Now, the next one I know is something that is close to your heart, and you think about this a lot, so I'm really interested to hear your view on this. Okay, so impossible or not, an airdrop that only goes to real users and none to bots. Is that possible or impossible?
That's interesting. I'd say only possible at small scale. Yeah. So it needs to be something that you almost like manually choose the recipients, but not something that can really scale to like large airdrops that we are seeing for layer ones or popular products or things like that. You can do it, but if you do it, you are probably excluding a lot of users. Like you would be missing a lot of potential airdrops recipients that should probably like deserve it. Yeah. So I think yes, possible, especially at small scale. At larger scale, if you do it, probably you're excluding too many people. I think this one is one of the cases that if you're going to do an airdrop, it is okay to give away more to make sure that you include everyone, and even if but like you need to reduce as much as possible how much you are airdropping to people that will not have the best interest, let's say.
Yeah. It's good to hear you talk about it again. I mean, in our conversations, you've always been incredibly keen to represent token holders and make sure that token holders are getting the right deal and, looking after their interests. And taking the view that you represent, them when putting together these deals and these fundraisers. And it is, the other side of that is making sure that these are real people, real users who are the most incentivized to stay long term with a project. Yeah, interesting point. Okay, the next one. Impossible or not, a meme coin that successfully pivots into a serious project.
Oh, definitely possible.
Okay, cool.
I think definitely possible. Like I could see it, and I think there are a few examples.
Yeah,
and good. Maybe nice. Not even meme coins, maybe like NFT collections that are like meme coins with pictures or something like that. I think it's totally possible. Yes.
Yeah, good. Okay, next one. And this is non-crypto related. A universally loved sequel that's better than the original. Is that impossible or not?
Good one. I think it is possible. I am struggling to find a good example, but I'm sure that I will find one.
Yeah,
I will have to post it on Twitter. I will have to post it on Twitter afterwards because I cannot think about one right now.
Yeah,
Terminator 2. Okay. I hear the producers are helping here.
Adrian, the producer, is telling us Terminator 2 is universally known. That's the question about universally known. Like, I like Home Alone 2. A lot of people think Home Alone 2 is better than the original, but loads of people absolutely love Home Alone, and loads of people love Terminator. So it's whether it's universally loved as the sequel that's better.
I think El Padrino, the second one, many people would say that was better than the first one.
Yeah, okay, good. Impossible or not, convincing a toddler that they are tired when they are obviously tired. Is that impossible or not?
It is really, really, really hard. uh, Hit or miss sometimes can be done. Like,
Yeah.
I am past the toddler stage, and it becomes easier later.
Yeah.
You for sure know this one as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think it feels possible, but I don't know if it's just because now I could convince them that they're tired and they should go to bed. But okay, let's move on. A cross-chain bridge that never gets hacked, is that impossible or not?
I want to believe it's possible.
Yeah, I want to believe it's possible too. Yeah, I mean, I've got some examples where, yeah, they've been successful. I mean, Across, has worked flawlessly for a long, long time, never been hacked. They've done really well. There's a few others that have managed it. And yeah, you just hope that lasts forever because they are a key piece of infrastructure, at least at the time. So yeah, good.
Yeah,
okay.
There are several with clean track records, and let's hope they keep it in that way.
Yeah, good. Launching a token with truly perfect price discovery, is that impossible or not?
That's an interesting question. I think it's hard to define perfect.
Yeah.
Like what does perfect mean? And I think then and how we define price discovery, because you can have you can start with a token launching at different stages if it's the life of a startup. It doesn't mean it will go up only and tracking perfectly an accurate representation of the value of a startup or whatever.
Yeah, not an easy one at all. Okay.
Like I am struggling with the definition to give a concrete possible or impossible, but I would say that it is really, really hard to find the best timing to launching your token. And I think it's a healthy debate. The ones that are saying that you need to wait to have product market fit in order to launch a token. In many cases, if you do that, it means that you are not giving the possibility to a large user base to actually invest in your token at lower valuation levels, and then that possibility gets restricted or only available for professional investors. So on my side, I think there are two interesting forces. I want to see tokens launching at earlier stage on one side, because I want more people to be able to get early exposure. And on the other side, launching the tokens without product market fit or without demand drivers for the tokens can be suicidal, let's say. So I think it's always an interesting battle for each protocol to try to find their perfect balance. I think for layer ones it's really, really hard because you don't have a choice. You need to launch a token whenever you launch mainnet, and you need to live with that.
Yeah, not an easy one to solve. So the final impossible or not that I want to ask you, this is a really tough one, Gonzalo. I don't think you're ready for this. So impossible or not, working with berry and plums, is that possible or not?
Yeah, it's definitely possible. It has been fun.
Okay,
looking forward to keep working together.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, hopefully have some wins together between plums and impossible.
Good. Now, Curated is this new platform that Impossible to put together, and you briefly went over it before, and essentially it takes all the power, all the benefits of Impossible, this huge user base, this great, network that you built through the accelerator, and then allows curators, people like me through Plums, to come along, bring deal flow, and then bring it to members. And I think for a lot of listeners, they might be familiar with Echo, and it's a little bit similar to that, but comes with different benefits and some other drawbacks in terms of the way that the regulations work, the way that we can go out to the market and talk about it. And it's a new platform. It's coming out. Really excited about, the deals that are going to come on there. And any listeners, you should check out Curated and Impossible Finance, clearly. But for our interlude, I've been given a pitch, Gonzalo, and I want to show you this pitch that I've received for Curated, and then we can have a chat about whether this is something that you want to see on the platform. Let's play the tape.
So I'm Salmonad's nephew, and this is my pitch for you. Salmonad Soup, but on chain. Gonna need about $200,000 in unmarked bills. On-chain soup. Think about it.
So, Salmonad's nephew would like to put Salmonad Soup on chain and needs $200,000 in unmarked bills. Is this a deal suitable for Curated, Gonzalo? Is this going to work? Is this something that we should entertain or not?
I think I need to see the deck to see what's behind.
Let's see the deck. Let's see the tokenomics. Let's see how this is going to work. Yeah, good.
Let's see what's behind that nice brand. I think brands have really a lot of value and power.
Yeah.
So, and I think beyond the show that I always try to be open-minded and try to understand first. Okay, if someone is doing this, like, why are they spending their time and energy doing this?
Yeah.
So yeah, I try to be open-minded first, even if at sometimes, like, first I need to laugh a little bit before.
I refer you to my earlier statement that Gonzalo is both patient and diligent. That is exactly that. It's like somewhat, good. Okay, cool. So
let me add one more. Let me add one more line.
Yeah.
Like, in many cases, even if it is not a fit for Curated or Impossible or whatever, like, sometimes it's just maybe it's appropriate for me. Like, if I want to gamble or do whatever, I first. But one thing is what you do as an individual versus what you'd recommend others doing, or what you would be presenting others as an opportunity on our platform. So like, giving back a more serious tone. Like, sometimes it's hard because we need to differentiate what is right for you as a person versus what is right for Impossible as a company. And I guess probably similar thing happens to you and Plums.
Yeah, cool. Now
sorry for killing the vibes.
No.
like you had a really nice video, like, really fun, all laughs, and then I shot it down.
Nope, actually, yeah. No, don't worry. No. This is, I think what it does, don't apologize. It demonstrates your approach to stuff. Like, I can say, okay, this guy is patient and diligent, but then I show you a silly video about, and you go, okay, actually, there might be value in Salmonad and in Salmonad Soup as brands that might be able to develop into a real product that could go out there. Let's, if Salmonad's nephew does have a deck and an ambition, then maybe we should hear him out and find out. And, hearing that from you does, as I say, reinforce those words that I said at the top. Now, when you talked about, your thoughts on brands and how there's value there. And, you've raised literally hundreds of millions of dollars for projects through Impossible. And I'm not going to ask you, have you had any ridiculously, silly ideas come through, but what kind of things have you, is there a project that you can imagine in your mind that hasn't come out yet that you think, man, we need this in the world? If I just wish a team was working on a brand that was building, for, kids or for adults, we want to, why is no one putting together a cartoon series that's based on IP from CT or something? I don't know, whatever it might be. Have you got anything in your mind that you think, I wish someone was putting this project together?
Okay, does it need to be, on the branding side, because my thoughts immediately went into DeFi.
It could be literally anything. RWAs.
So I think DeFi, the options space, is a space that I really, really want to see it push through. Like if a few years back, let's say 2 to 3 years back, one of our biggest discussions internally at Impossible was that the spot trading volume, if we compared on-chain versus off-chain, actually trading on-chain was growing. Like they were growing market share quite fast, actually. And that we wanted to see that trend coming up for derivatives markets. And as we see right now, the perpetual dexes are representing around 20% of the total volume, and it was like sub 5%, maybe 1 year and a half ago or something like this. And I think the options market at some point needs to experience a similar type of growth. Yeah. In particular, I think it's really interesting to have options market for long tail assets for like most of the altcoins. I think it's a safer way to get leverage, to hedge yourself. Yeah. I think it's really interesting, and most of the tools to trade this type of instrument are through trading firms, OTC desks, and so on. Mostly private investors have the possibility of doing so, but not like normal users. Or, like you and me outside of our companies, if we want to personally trade or do anything, like this is a tool that is definitely not available for us. Yep. There are many teams that are working on this challenge right now, mostly focused on the top trade, the assets that are most traded. But yeah, I think this is there is a complete void that needs to be filled in this space.
Yeah. And what's funny is it's not for a lack of trying. I think a bunch of teams have come out and tried to solve this, and people see it as this huge void, as this kind of area that's untapped. Because in traditional finance, it is absolutely gargantuan. I mean, it's huge. The options market is huge, and there's just nothing on chain at all apart from perpetual options, perpetual futures. It's just not there. And tell you a funny story first. So I used Open V1 way back when, like literally in 2020, in the hopes of an airdrop, basically. And I had no idea what I was doing. I took out an option on uni and had no idea what I was doing. I ended up making money somehow, and I was like, yes, this is cool. And I've done a transaction on there. And that ended up qualifying me, or being a multiplier at least, for Ribbon Finance, which as an airdrop ended up being worth a lot of money. I'm not going to say it on the podcast, but a lot of money. And then that has since then snowballed into me helping out with marketing and growth on Avo, which was what Ribbon ended up becoming. And so, yeah, literally me trying to do an options trade like 5-6 years ago now has ended up with me now helping. It's like gone all the way through. But talking about teams trying to fix it now, the two teams that do stand out for me, Risk, some fantastic Italian and actually a Brit, building a platform on Hyperliquid that kind of abstracts away options. Almost feels like one of those Dove vaults that we had for a long time, but it isn't. And then the other team, there's a team called Euphoria building on Mega Reef. Now, I raise this because I'm very salty about this, Gonzalo. This is I'm incredibly salty, right? So I'm an ambitious fundraiser through Plums, and I'm looking for top teams building top products, and Euphoria looked like a really interesting product. It is an options product. They got really cool slick user interface and user experience that kind of makes it fun and engaging to trade options. And I was like, and I was pursuing them, trying to get, talking to them, come on, blah, blah, blah. And they just ghosted me. And often teams ghost me as part of the deal. Anyway, so firstly, they didn't work with me. And then they announced that they'd given allocation to like 1,000 top crypto people. And I was like, how? Like, it's just a kick in the nuts now. Like, it's like, not only did you not want to work with me, but you also think I'm like A total pleb. Anyway, I wish them all the best still. It does look good. But yeah, options, clearly something that needs to be solved at some point. You've worked with so many great teams over the years. Who's which team or which founder are you most proud to have worked with?
Oh, we have several great teams that have been working with us. So naming, I always will feel bad if I mention only one. But I will, because that's the challenge here. and I will mention one team that I think the market and actually the community and whatever is not giving them the recognition that they need or that they deserve. And Kai from Impossible Cloud Network, our I need to make this annotation as well. Like Impossible Cloud Network is not associated in any way with Impossible Finance beyond us being partners, but it's not a spin-off, it's not a sub-company or whatever. Like they are a great team building decentralized cloud infrastructure. They are doing a great job. And like always, when I speak with Guy, I feel like I always learn something. So I think this is one of the best type of partnerships as well.
Yeah, nice.
And definitely looking forward how they are growing, and I cannot wait to see how Impossible Cloud Network looks like in 2 to 3 years, let's say.
Yeah, cool. That's really good to hear, and it's great to hear that connection that you continue to have with founders. And I think that's one of the things that Curated is going to have, is that kind of curators taking on a lot of that role of dealing with founders, but also having your backing and support to back up. Because I think building those relationships with founders, with teams, is super important. And some founders want more support than others from their angel network, right? But I think it's important, and it's I know you've worked with some really top tier teams. So I know the guys at Impossible Cloud Network are going to be really happy for that shout out here today.
Let's hope so.
One final question before we get to the final game. You constantly travel for work all the time. I mean, you're almost in a different place every time I speak to you. Where do you think the best place for a founder is right now in crypto? Where's the best place in the world for a crypto founder right now?
Oh, I think that's a nice question. And it's a tough one because it really depends on a lot of personal choices on what you need to optimize for. So I think if you are, for example, trying to work on the real world asset space and working a lot with people on the traditional finance side, you need to lean towards the top, like traditional finance places, like go to New York and so on, Hong Kong. Like you name it, depending on which type of business you need to do. I think if you want to be like really capital efficient especially on the first years of your startup, like you can decrease a lot your costs going to places like Southeast Asia or even Latin America, where you will find like really good talent to work with you, probably saving a lot of money if you compare with having the same quality of team in the US or let's say some European capitals. So I would say it really depends on the market that you're tapping. I would say you have two things. On one side, talent. On the other is being close to the market that you are serving. So depending on which type of product you're building is the choice that you need to make. At some point, once you have, if you are well capitalized, you can lean towards serving the market first. But if you are in this initial phase where you need to get all the foundation up and you need to be capital efficient, then there is always a
very
trade-off.
well reasoned answer there. Thanks, Gonzalo. Okay, so final test of the day, Gonzalo, is a game we play on Plums called How Big Are Your Plums? And this is a truth and dare game. And you don't have to do them, Gonzalo. You can do a giveaway to our listeners, okay? And so I'm going to give you an opportunity now. Would you prefer, do you want to go ahead, Gonzalo, without knowing? You can just do a simple giveaway to the listeners, or do you want to go ahead?
Let's go with the challenge.
Okay, so we're starting with truth, and then I'll give you another chance to back out in a second. Okay, so the truth is, which project or founder secretly inspires you, even if you would never admit it publicly?
So I need to admit it publicly now.
Yeah. That's it.
Like, I don't know. I try to not have like one people that I am stand for. But there are many like founders that maybe I can respect what they do even if I don't fully agree. For example, there was this guy from Limitless that he actually created a bunch of noise by antagonizing with CC, by playing well with Jesse from Coinbase. Like, he created a lot of like mind share about creating conflict out of nowhere, right? And I think it was actually smart in a way to get people to talk about Limitless and basically to put them in the same discussion as other prediction markets. And before all that, like, nobody cared about them. Or maybe that's an extreme, but the number of people that cared about him was like...
Yeah, I mean, it literally dominated mindshare for 2 or 3 days, or maybe a whole week. It was big news. These big. Okay, cool. So you've done the truth. Well done. We're now moving on to the dare.
I don't know. I don't know what.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you.
This one is harder. Like, the truth says, okay, like it is easy. So, I need to be transparent for one sentence. Like, whatever.
Yeah. Okay. Good. So the dare is. Explain Curated, sounds easy enough, in a French accent.
Oh. I don't even know how to start with this. It's hard enough for me to speak English. I need to do like
to speak English
French accent. French accent to speak in English. Like, it's... I don't even know how to start.
You can do it, Gonzalo. I believe in you. You can do it. So So we'll go. Bonjour, je m'appelle Gonzalo. Curated is la best fundraising.
It's a fundraising platform.
You should pretend to smoke a cigarette while doing it as well. That is going to add it. You can do it.
I need a blue shirt or something.
You do, and a baguette.
I could definitely use the baguette. I think I need to... I don't know how to go with this. This will be edited, right? Curated is a fundraising platform. Bringing the best deals. This is French. It's just being retarded, not French. Okay.
I think we got that. That is very, very good, Gonzalo. Excellent effort. Gonzalo, you've been a fantastic guest here on Plums. I'm super excited to be working with Curated, and I know you're bringing other top curators onto the platform to bring these amazing deals to, these accredited investors. And I'm honored to work with you. You're both fun, as I mentioned, diligent, patient. You're a great guide within the ecosystem that I think more founders should have access to. And really proud to be working with you. And thank you very much for coming on Plums.
Thank you, Ben. Really happy to be here. Thanks for the invitation. I actually had a really nice time, really good time. And let's see. I want this to be a success.
Au revoir, Gonzalo.
Thank you.
Ooh.
The information and discussion provided here is for educational and entertainment purposes only and should not be considered financial advice. Berry is not licensed to provide investment advice and does not offer such. Berry typically holds positions in the project and protocols he discusses and discloses that to you here. Opinions expressed by guests are theirs alone and do not necessarily reflect the views of Berry, Plums, or their affiliates. As with all things, and especially financial matters, please do your own research and consult with professionals where relevant.